Just gave birth to my third baby yesterday, and I'm a lactation consultant and feeding therapist. Welcome to my newborn diaries, where I'm sharing what feeding my newborn really looks like so that you can feel more prepared and less alone. Yesterday, my main goal was to feed him frequently and remove milk frequently. His stomach right now is super small. It's the size of a cherry approximately, so he only needs a small volume to meet his needs. A lot of moms will freak out in the first few days thinking that that small volume isn't enough, but it really is plenty for your baby. Another thing I focused on was removing breast milk frequently. Whether he's feeding, I'm hand expressing, or pumping. I haven't actually pumped yet, but I did feed him and use hand expression yesterday. That removal of breast milk often is going to signal to my body to produce more breast milk. This is crucial to establishing my milk production. I was extremely diligent yesterday in feeding him often. I aimed to feed him every 2 to 3 hours, but it was a little tricky because there were times where he was extremely sleepy. It's very normal for them to be alert and active during that first feeding and then get very sleepy throughout the rest of the first day of their life. Every time I attempted to feed him yesterday, I always changed his diaper first because that helps wake him up. If needed, I also did some gentle stretches and movement, undressed him, brought him skin to skin, and had him nice and close to me. I tried to keep him as awake and alert as possible during those feeding windows. Also watched him like a hawk for feeding cues. I wanted to catch any little sign that he was maybe ready to eat. I didn't wait to see him cry in hunger. Crying is actually a late feeding cue. I looked for subtle cues, like just moving his head back and forth, squirming, smacking his lips, bringing his hands to his mouth. Any of those little signs I took advantage of and would offer him a feeding. We did have one longer stretch where he was extremely sleepy. And so what I did was hand express a small amount of colostrum. If he wasn't super close and cozy with me and I was holding him out in front of me, he would suck on my finger. He was sucking on it, and then I put the syringe in the corner of his mouth and gave him that hand expressed colostrum. This was a way for me to give him a little bit of nutrition, remove breast milk, and kind of make the most of a really sleepy feeding time. Our latch is still a work in progress. He has a tongue tie, and so we're definitely working through that a little bit. We are making progress, and that's what I like to see. Every time he does latch, I do check to make sure the latch is adequate so that I know he's getting the nutrition that he needs. What I'm looking for is his jaw and his temple moving, so he's actively sucking, watching and listening for swallows, and I'm going based off of how I feel and if it feels like he is adequately transferring milk. I'm still producing early breast milk or colostrum. Colostrum actually has a laxative property in it, which helps your baby pass their meconium poops in the first few days of life. I'm watching his diapers really closely because they're one of the biggest indicators that he is getting the nutrition he needs, especially the dirty diapers. Yesterday, I wanted to see at least one wet diaper and one dirty diaper. For his dirty diaper, I expected to see that black tar meconium poop. Today, I hope to see him start to wake up a little bit and feed more. And so stay tuned for the next episode where I'll chat about feeding on day 2 and cluster feeding.